Good morning. I am Sriraj from second year CSSE, bearing roll number 24KD1A1513. Uh, it is a setup of bustling street, very busy street, and he is smiling. A boy is smiling, and his heart is like a monkey who is hopping from branches to branches. And it's a story about him which was explained in a very peculiar manner, in one of the most peculiar manners possible. It was displayed or depicted as the form of some texts or ASCII symbols, and those symbols are arranged in such a way that they show up some story together. And the boy begins to explain about a passerby with a ponytail, and she's a girl, and he calls her a passerby with a ponytail, and the girl is having a cassette player with her, and maybe he feels that she always carries that and she don't like to call it as a vintage thing because it is so common and familiar with her, and she likes certain music to be in certain way to her liking, and the girl is enjoying the music, and the boy explained it in with a word called she is in some remarkable posture, and this line is remarkable from the boy as well. And he came into the topic. Um, he saw the girl, thought of his odds of impressing the girl, and he looked at the sky, felt a bit calculating, and he felt, oh, the odds are astronomical, and it is very difficult for him to impress the girl. But yes, he gave it a try. As I said you earlier, he's a monkey. He came in, he thought of a hug, he laughed out loud, and he started saying that he wanted to paint the portrait of the girl on the cup of mug, and he wanted to fill the cup of the mug with water, put seven types of salts in it, and put a crab in it. And yeah, he means to say that he means to say using this notation about dry land, and the boy is trying to panhandle the ocean standing on a dry shore. And he also complimented that the girl is looking like a mermaid, and the girl went wow, because all of a sudden somebody jumps right into you, and on your face he calls you like a mermaid, and he wants to paint you on the a cup, and it's a little bit not an easy thing to take for a girl especially. And yeah, boy said, yeah, I know, my heartbeat is like an inappropriate Morse code. Yeah. And he felt that he's messing things. He felt that, but he could not resist because his heart is going on everything, around everything. It is like inappropriate Morse code, which is blinking, which is beating. And he called himself as a junior varsity cheerleader who is not very well known for his uh, dialogues, but very well known for his awkward pauses and nursery rhyme schemes like ba, so on. And he also called himself a monkey, which is rightfully said, and he began to blow kisses to the girl. And here we can feel it was almost messed up. And he also went all the way to suggest the girl that they should meet soon first, and a lot followed by. And the girl, yeah, as expected, the girl has given a dramatic reply with her expressions. And the boy also went on to give the address and time. He said that I'll wait till you come, and I don't mind if you have a ponytail or not. And I don't know in which dramatic manner this got ended up, but the girl said, no thanks. Bad luck, boy. Better luck next time.
A pleasant morning. So the video which I have which I have seen, or uh, the speaker, his name is Rives. So in this video, uh, he wanted to share some story on some kind of emoticons, which means it was some symbols, some ASCII symbols. So in that, he depicted a story while some using some symbols, like he wanted to share something so that people can understand about a kind of new approach of showing new technology along with some emotions embedded in it. So the story goes like, it was a pleasant morning like now. So there was a guy. He's single, and he saw a girl with a cassette, and he was very impressed and tense to talk. So he goes to the girl. The girl was very attractive to him, so he wanted to give his best to her. The girl looks very he wanted to talk something to that girl, and he wanted to share something so that that girl can accept about his friendship to her. So he requested, or he wanted to say something, and the girl was at she was very in neutral with that guy. So he asked about something that she looked like a mermaid. So he was trying his best, especially. So he was very desperate about that girl, and by he wanted to share some feelings. So the entire story was showing the emotions about that guy, who was very confused and also very desperate to talk with that girl. So the girl was not responding something. She wasn't responding, and at last he wanted to ask a, uh, he wanted to ask a date about the wanted to go for a date. So simply the girl just rejected him as always. So she was very disappointed, like she doesn't care, or she doesn't interested about that guy. So simply she said she doesn't want to she doesn't want it to continue about his friendship. So the man again tried to insist something. So he just described him just like, I'm a monkey who was just smiling and give her kisses. So he was very desperate from the beginning, but at last he got no luck. That's it. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Bishop from CSSE Team 2. Today I want to share some story about I recently read a story. Even a small symbol can show big emotions. About means there was a boy who had creative way of expressing his emotions. Instead of using words, he used like small icons like smiley face for happiness and a sad face for sorrow, and different symbols for and different emotions. He, with just these tiny signs, he could make people understand exactly what he understand. His unique approach shows that his unique approach shows that even simplest symbols can show different emotions and feelings and human deep feelings. This story reminds us that language is not only about fe- not rules but also imagination, innovation, and creative expression. So even small symbols and icons can show the human deep emotions and feelings. I recently read this story. Thank you.
Hi everyone. Um, I am K. Surya from Computer Science and System Engineering Department. My roll number is 24KD 530, and the code is learning is very easy when we imagine. So I got with up a story that one man is trying to educate people, like when creativity meets knowledge. So our learning is very easy, simple, and lovely. Because I heard about a story that a man who educates all people, like it's a not educates type. He wants to tell how the way we can learn means by the it's a code. There is a code, and in the code we have so many of symbols and anything, and it's a harder code. And he tried to explain the code like emotions and emoticons, and so he framed the code as a fairy tale story, and he showed his feelings to the girl, and he came up that it's a imagination is very much important than knowledge, and anything will become easy and simple while we meet the creativity. So this is the theme.
Controlling.
Hello everyone, good morning. This is Tejshmi from CSSE. Today, from LS activity, I have listened to a wonderful story, that is a story of mixed emoticons. So from that, my perception is that um, listen. That story has mixed emoticons where the narrator has shown to the audience first, and later he asked what you have understood, because nobody from the audience have understood what actually the meaning of such emoticons before. Each individual may have each perceptions. Yes, of course we have individual perception knowledge. So each one of us will understand the each emoticon in a different way. I may understood in an anger way, and she may understood in a different way. Whereas me, I have understood in a different way. But once the narrator has started narrating his own story, then there comes a twist where each one of us have thought about one story when the narrator has shown us the emoticons. But later, when the narrator has explained the actual story, then we got to know the real meaning of that story and such emoticons. So, like that, each person have individual perception and individual emotions when we see the story, when we think of such stories. But when we come to the original theme, original um, like real world situation, the actual meaning of such emotions creations are different, because each one of us have each perceptions, whereas we think and we narrate our own story. But when we have listened to the actual story, we'll come to a conclusion where what happened actually. So, from the story of emoticons, the narrator has shown few emoticons first, and he asked the audience to what he asked the audience to talk about or think about such emoticons, what they have understood. Later, when the narrator has told the actual story of that emoticons, there comes the conclusion where a boy who came to a girl, and instead of really proposing her, he was flirting with her. This is by Rave, emoticons, mixed emotion. This story was written or narrated by Rave, where he actually told what the story is. Before telling the actual story, he showed emoticons to the audience to think of a story, where each narrator, sorry, each audience narrativeness is different from each individual, where this audience will may think about such emoticons in a different way, whereas I will think in a different way. Before, while seeing that story, I used to think that this is something that emoticon is different, this emoticon is different. But later, when I come to know the actual story, then I got to know the real meaning of this emoticons. Like this, each individual have their own emotions. My emotion is different, whereas the person who is seeing me will have his emotion. He'll understood my emotion in a different way. Like this, each individual have each emotions where only they can express, they can feel it. Nobody else can feel their emotion. You have your own emotion, I have my own emotion, I have my own perception, you will have an own perception. So this is what the actual thing we have to understood. Each individual have each perception, they have their own emotion. So from this story, the story of mixed emoticons, I came to know that this is what actually is. Thank you.
From that video, I think nowadays modern technology is also implemented. Through that, everyone will share their like feelings through symbolic form. In that video, I observed that that man used that man used to share their feelings or emotions through that keyboard form. Nowadays, not keyboard are not only for any functionality regarding to any work or anything. By using keywords also we can express our feelings and emotions to others. In that man apply that logically and artistry also. Through that, audience will get affected, audience will get attracted to that and show interest to watch like those things. Not only not only using keyboards as functionally on company's work or anything, we can also showcase our talents through keyboard keys. From that, I thought, not only from that, in our daily life also, if you want to tell something through conversation through mobile, if we use some symbolic keys to express our feelings, they can easily understand what was aim, what was our thought, or what was we are thinking. They can easily they can understand easily through that keys and emotions. From that, if we share our feelings like keyboards or using that keys, they can easily they can easily understood what suppose what sup, what suppose we have to share. And in that, that man uses very artistry to attract people through these that braces symbol and equal to symbols and everything. Through keyboard he used all every element, alphabets and symbols also. Through that he was easily share and express what he was want to tell about that story. Through that story I understand that we can, if we think uniquely, we can also we can implement anything in our in our daily life. A real situation was, if you, as I want to supposed to tell something to my friend, if I text only normal in words, in that, if I only text normal words without sending any symbolic forms or anything, they can't understand properly what I supposed to say. From that, if I use any symbolic forms like some symbols in keyboard, if they can may they can easily understand what I want to tell or what I want to express. Okay, thank you.
Hi everyone. Uh, this is the this is the spoken word performance by Reeves, titled by A Story of Mixed Emotions. He writes, this is the poem about a short and quickery narrative about a man who uh, elaborative and metaphorical who uses the elaborative and metaphorical language to ask a woman to come out. Despite she highly replied that no thanks. By this we can use the elaborative and metabolical language um, to understand others' language. Thank you.
A very good morning. So, from the previous video, we want to share our feelings. We want to share our perception, and my friend will continue.
Even small symbols can show different emotions. Means there was a boy who had a creative way of expressing his feelings and emotions. Instead of using words, he used small icons like a smiley face for happiness and sad face for sorrow, and different emotion icons with the different feelings. With just these tiny symbols and icons, he can he can make people understand exactly what he understand. And his unique approach shows that every different symbols and different icons shows deep human emotions and feelings. And this story reminds us that language is not only for rules but also imagination, creative and innovative expression.
Guys, my perception is when creativity meets the knowledge, the way of learning is very simple and lovable. And I think that there is a code, and we can learn the code by the its meanings. And in that, and there is a guy who framed a fairy tale story by the code by using codes, symbols, and emoticons, so we can understand easily. We can remember, and it is like something keywords like framed by in words of the
And digging a little bit into the story, the boy is is not unaware of what he is doing, but neither he is aware of. Actually, in that circumstance, he thought of the odds of possibility of impressing a girl, and the girl whom he met randomly in the street, and immediately he felt like a wow. And the way the girl is standing, he described it as beautiful. And he also wanted to not to mess up, but he did mess up. He knew that he was messing it up, but he continued to mess up. And it explains the funny and humorous nature of human heart, which never lets you think, because you have to use both of your heart and brain together cohesively. And this way, in this story, the boy gave in to his heart's feelings, though he know he was messing up, though he know he was not in a right track of talking with a girl properly, though it is not inappropriate, but he is not talking in such a way that he wants to. And he's talking, he's jumping like a monkey, talking that, talking this, saying that, saying this, and again calling himself a monkey, and calling himself a junior cheerleader who is not very well known for his cheers, but very well known for his pauses and awkward drivings. He is complimenting his deeds, his talkings, and again continuing that. And the story was portrayed in a very dramatic way, and that was explained using symbols, as our friends have explained. For example, double quotations enclosing two equal twos, enclosing angular braces. He called it a crab. And for everything, almost everything, like for an address, for a hug, for mug, for crab, for water, for everything, they used some ASCII symbols to represent that. And the way of representation of the story is a little bit funny and intriguing, and the story as well is it itself is a lot of uh, fun containing and humorous thing.
Yeah, but I would like to share something about the way the speaker wanted to share something. It was very creative. So he uses some special symbols, and it was very creative at first. So he created a story based on the symbols, especially. So the story was very. The story was overwhelmed with many emotions, like it was confusing, it was sharing, it was like everything about a guy sharing about his perception, like he wanted to impress something to that girl. He tried his very best. He wanted to do his best talking with that girl. So At the end, he made everything. He made everything messy. The girl didn't like at all, so he wanted to do something at something. So he was very confused, and he again tried again, so that the girl can say something. But at end, the girl
It
didn't
fired
answer.
back. Actually, he was going in all directions. He's saying something and again correcting himself. I'm like, I am a monkey. I will speak very. I mean, he realized that he's messing it up, and again goes on to mess up another time.
He thought it was bit messy at the end. Again, he just degraded himself in front of her. But again, he just wanted to ask something about her opinion about him.
Main thing is he wanted to do something. He wanted to say something, but he is not actually aware of what to do, how to do. But one thing he wanted to do is not to mess up. But the only thing he did is messing it up. And I remember one famous quote. I always say this in many times in LS activities as well. It is not your knowledge that shows who you are, it is the choices that you make. So, where this thing is fitting here is in two ways. Putting story aside and talking about the speaker who shared about this story, he has a good story and it is having a lot of humor, but that is his knowledge or something what he knows, and that is not going to separate you from all the people who are going to share the same story, but it is the choice that you take which will separate you from the others. Like the speaker here wanted to share his story uniquely in the manner that our friends and I have explained as well earlier, and that selection of the choice of way of sharing the story is what has made him unique. And coming into the story, yeah, again, his intentions are not questionable. So his knowledge or what he knows is not going to make the boy different. But what he did, the choice, it is what all has messed up. So both in the story and as well as out of the story, this quote will be fitting in. And this quote is written by, as you all might know this, J.K. Rowling, spoken by Albus Dumbledore in Harry Potter series. So that's what I want to I have to say about that story. Do you have any more feelings to add this?
Means we need to know aware of our implementation where they are.
Yeah. Apart from the in addition to the subject, we have to go in the proper path.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.